live. Yay!
So, technical difficulties getting this going, but I think we're good to go. So, welcome to Business as Usual. My name is Paul. I'm the owner of Cassis Media Digital Marketing Solutions, and this is Vonda Jameson.
I'm Vonda.
She owns Jameson Legacy Group. And in this episode, the first episode of hopefully many, we're going to talk about business, life, and some bumps along the road that we try to get over every day, and hopefully we can pass on some tips to you. So, welcome, and thanks for listening. So, Vonda, we tried this before, but let's try this again.
Try it again.
We were talking yesterday about the some of the challenges that a lot of business owners face when they're.
Well, hang on, Paul.
Yes.
Can you tell us who you are?
Oh, me.
What you do?
Okay.
We introduce ourselves to the folks. I mean, I love that they're here and they're listening, but give them a little background.
Okay. So I am a U.S. Marine veteran. I'm a trumpet player. I started my business back in 2017 because I love to just create things. So no one was hiring marketers at the time, and I said, well, I'm just going to start my own creative endeavor. So my life is filled with creative passion, and I do websites. I work with social media platforms, things like that. Everything marketing, I can do it. And hopefully I can grow my company someday to many people and give more people employment. But for now, it's just me. So what about you? What do you do?
I want you to know that it's already happening. The growth is already happening.
Yeah.
But thank you for letting us know who you are, what your passions are. I am Vonda. Hey, everyone. I am Vonda, and I have a company called the Jameson Legacy Group. And I am passionate about helping people figure it out financially in life and after life. And right now, I'm really focusing and concentrating on supporting, folks in their manifestation, because, hard work is part of it. But getting our spirit right, our mind right, our body right is also a part of it. And, we can work hard, but if we have doubts, we're clouded with negativity, it can really affect the outcome. Because I always say, Source doesn't understand which is a good prayer or a bad prayer. A prayer is a prayer. So we have to be very careful with how we think. Right? Mindset is key. It is linked to our financial success. And so that is what I do.
Absolutely. Now, what about the legacy part of what you do?
The legacy part. Well, that's the afterlife. So I help you get it right in life and afterlife. And that's the, making sure we leave directions for when we leave here. You do know that we will leave here, correct? Yeah, nothing's
someday.
Promised, right? This is all temporary. So while we're working hard, that's why I say, why are we working so hard? But we do. We put our efforts in. But while we're doing that, we've got to consider leaving our legacy. What does that look like? We work hard in this lifetime, so we've got to tie that bow on it and make sure that it transcends the way our heart has intended.
Yeah, I always joke I have about 60-some years left of this stuff, and then I'm good to go.
Yeah, so, you do. You're going to live to be 100 or more.
The way medicine's going, who knows?
Absolutely. So we have to think about, what does that look like? Like, what are we doing for business until we're 100? How are we getting through?
Right.
I mean,
I used to listen to a book, an audio book. I forget what it was called, but in the book they talked about people's legacy projects, and this was before I met you, Vonda. And basically, all the big businesses, the companies, the big organizations that you see an impact in your daily life, those were their legacy projects. Someone built Chase Bank. Someone built, Warrior. All these different companies. I can't name them all off the top of my head.
Papa John's Pizza. Yes, that was somebody's dream. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody's dream, and you can't build a dream by yourself, but you're the only one who can start it. So if you're just starting out and you're listening to this, just know that someday you could create something that not only employs people but makes a great impact on society as a whole, and hopefully that's a good impact. So businesses are here to help people, and that's why we're in business, right, Vonda? I mean,
Why we're in business.
yeah, here to
Well,
help people.
it's also great to take your passion. And if you can take your passion and transform that into business,
Hmm.
you will never work a day in your life but that.
It's true. I forgot what work feels like.
Yeah.
And the only boss I have to report to, I would say, well, let me check with the boss, and I look in the mirror. I said, I think it's okay, whatever it is. So,
Well, there's nothing like time freedom.
that's true.
As long as you learn to manage your time, which
Hmm.
comes with the territory, it becomes a knack. I think that in business, a lot of people don't realize until they really get into it, they start their grind,
Hmm.
that you will work harder at your own business than you will ever have worked for someone.
Right.
You remember when you started? How many hours were you working
Oh, God.
a day?
Well, at the time, I had a full-time job, so I'd spend 8.5 hours there, and then I would go home, half-hour commute, and then I'd spend maybe 6 or 7 hours a day with no promise of being paid, just reaching out to people and doing the actual work that's required. So it's basically another full-time job outside of a day job if you have one.
Mhm.
Um,
Absolutely.
and
All
yeah,
right, that's 14 hours, Paul.
yeah,
14-hour days plus travel.
right.
I know when I finally called it quits, I was in the restaurant industry, the service industry for years.
Hmm.
So, but I always was studying finance on the back burner because I just wanted to make sure that I would be straight in my aging. I wanted to be, cohesive and solid. And but even so, I've done so many different things. An event planner. I'm an artist by birth, so I would design. But whenever I would do business in my different categories, I was working easily 16 hours a day because I could work at midnight. I could
Hmm.
work at 2 a.m. if I had a brainstorm. And then next thing you know, you're having so much fun because it's your passion, but you're like, hey, I'm only getting 4 hours sleep. I'm
Right.
only getting, so yeah, but it's fun and it's great. But eventually we've got to create work-life balance, you think?
Absolutely. And I know that when I was working those 7 8 hours a day at my business, I was also juggling a family at the time. An ex-girlfriend of mine with her son. I was going to school. I was doing all sorts of stuff on top of that. So it was very stressful. And I came. This is why you have to manage your time, because I came so close sometimes to just breaking down and throwing it all away, because I said this is too much. But I'm a man, so I have to see how much I can handle.
Ooh, now you're tap dancing on some subjects that I like.
It's true.
Well, can we back up for a minute and talk about that? Because that's really
Yeah.
important when you are creating your own business and structuring yourself financially and trying to do your best and really find your footing.
Mm-hmm.
How do you not just have a meltdown and just throw it all away, like out the window, or have a breakdown because it's happened? People, we can only take but so much. So what does that look like? What are some of the things that you do to make sure that you keep your emotional health together while you are investing so much time in your own business?
Well, one of the things I do is I use this calendar app on my phone. If it'll pop up here, yeah,
Okay.
you can kind of see it there. I schedule out my day. Um, your environment has a lot to do with uh, what you're going to be dealing with on a day-to-day basis. So if you have a family, you have kids, you have to take them to school, get them ready for school or whatever. Um, family always takes priority. because what will happen is if you don't prioritize your family first, it's going to get emotionally rough. You're going to have fights, and it's actually going to cause disruptions in your business. Everything comes from family. Now, if you're like me and you're single and you don't have any responsibilities whatsoever, except yourself, and the only true responsibilities are your clients, then you have a lot more freedom to breathe. So there are two different dichotomies there. But let's say you're the single bachelor or bachelorette, living your best life, trying to make this thing work so you can have a family down the road. Either side of that, you have to schedule out your day. I schedule in sleep time. I'm like, okay, 1 a.m. to 8 a.m., I'm sleeping. Everything's off. No one can bother me. That's my period of rest. I schedule in time that I get ready in the morning. I schedule in exercise, and then I schedule a block of time for business activities. And then I also schedule out recreational time. And then I leave some gaps in there for, travel, free time gaps in case anything comes up or you need a buffer. And I try to stick to my schedule. Now, it's not something that's black and white. I have to follow.
No pun intended.
Right. We'll get to that. But I'm the whitest guy you know. I'm just saying. I'm so square.
I used to say that about me.
But so I don't follow my schedule to a T all the time, but it's a great guide to help you manage every day. I always say if your environment is a mess, your mind's going to be a mess. And if your mind's a mess, your environment's going to be a mess, and it's just a vicious cycle. But the opposite's true. If it's clean, like I make my bed every day, well, almost every day, but I can tell when I don't because then my day's just like all over the place. So I make sure I live a very clean-cut, organized life as much as I can, but I also leave room for time to relax and rest. Sleep has become so important, and I used to roll my eyes at people who told me it wasn't, or it was, because I thought, oh yeah, I can survive on 5 hours of sleep. I'm a Marine veteran. I can do anything like that. And turns out I'm still human. So my brain, my brain needs time to rest and relax. And it makes a world of difference, just an extra hour or two. So 7 to 8 hours, I think, is a good amount. And if you don't like to sleep, that means you have a problem with workaholism. And being a workaholic is something that I had to fight. And it caused problems in my relationships too. So that is how I get through every day and make sure that I'm getting done the things I need to get done.
There's treatment for that workaholism stuff.
It's not alcohol
I love that you
either.
brought up the part about family, though, because very often when people are starting their own business, it's challenging for the spouse.
Mm-hmm.
To have faith that the money is going to come in financially, number one.
Oh yeah.
Number two, there's a shift that happens that everybody's not ready for. You're ready for it because now you're working from home, but sometimes our family members see us at home,
mm-hmm.
and they don't really compute that. No, wait, I'm working. It's like kind of like you're home. So what are you doing? Because we have the association that we go into an office or go into another building to work. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure many folks here have experienced that. You're working from home, especially during the pandemic, but your wife and your children are treating you like you're at their access. So creating those boundaries in your business so that you can work, especially if you have an at-home business, is essential. And so I recommend that, sometimes it has to be like you may have to post hours on your door of your office. Mm-hmm. If you have a small room that you've designated as your office, or you may have to lock it, or it's important to take a break so that your family knows I'm going to have lunch with you. I'll be out at 12:30 for lunch. Kind of like, boundaries that we set in the office. And there have been many problems because people don't set up their home life with the same type of structure. So everyone at home thinks they have access to you. Or either you're muting yourself, yelling, saying, I'm on the phone, or, there's all of that going on, right? I've heard those stories, and then mom and dad aren't getting along so well because, I even have that with my mother, though. I've taken care of my mother and been with her for months at a time during this pandemic, and, she'll come into my office and ask me, what color do I think she should order? Kind of like, Mom, I'm in the middle of a Zoom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, she doesn't get it. But, yeah, so it's really important. So thank you for bringing that up. Sleep, on the other hand. Hello. I am living proof of how well sleep can help you transition in your life, okay? Mm-hmm. For going on 60. Yes, sleep is extremely important. It will keep you young and healthy and your skin supple. And also for women and for men, the only time you lose weight is during sleep. And it's also a good time to manifest. So dreaming while we're sleeping, we're actually getting stuff done, believe it or not.
Absolutely.
We are creating in our subconscious. But I just wanted to say that, so Paul, you showed me your calendar, and that's really great. And I love that this is how you create space for yourself to keep your mental health together. Mm-hmm. You mentioned exercise. Okay, good. Exercise. I need to do more of that. But I'm like, you got to do more than just exercise.
Meditate.
So you're sleeping and you're exercising, and anything else?
Meditation.
Meditation. I'm good. I'm one for meditation. So do you visit with your family? Do you actually set time for friends and loved ones to make sure that you commune with the rest of the world? Because guys, it's really easy to be isolated, especially during this time, focused on your business, and next thing you know, you haven't seen people in weeks.
It's true. And I can tell you, we'll touch on both here for a second. So with the meditation, I found that, mental health as an entrepreneur is so important because this is the only machine that's keeping everything running. If this isn't right, nothing else is going to work. So you have to take care of this first, and this, right? So mind, body, spirit. And I used to roll my eyes at all that, mind, body, spirit. Yeah, I know. It's so true. There are times in a day where I'm just sitting there, I know I have stuff to do, but I don't feel like doing anything. That's your brain and your heart and everything telling you, hey, look, take 5 minutes, listen to your breathing, just do a simple, quick meditation. I need to rest. Because have you ever noticed when you do a lot of mental work, you get thirsty? You ever notice that? It's because your brain uses water to work, conduct the electrons and all that, whatever, neurons.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It's a water chemical machine up there. That's the only way it works. So you have to drink water. As a military, we say hydrate. So, that's why. Because water is so important. Yeah, caffeine helps you wake up in the morning, but, and I'm guilty of 2 cups a day. I'd like to get away from that personally because
But it dehydrates you. Doesn't coffee dehydrate you? Yeah, it does. So you're right. We need to actually have water at our desk side if we are in business and working, or in your studio, or and I have been more intentional with making sure that I have cases of water on hand. Mm-hmm. It's better for the skin.
Oh, yeah.
It's better for our thinking. Yeah, because we are a majority of water. I want to tap in, though. I want to tap in and be like, I'm so excited that you put the meditation part in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is everything. So I wake up with meditation. I wake up with meditation and morning prayers. I set intentions for my day. I have a saying that is, first of all, you're working your passion. It's really not working, so you can be easily consumed and forget yourself sometimes. Mm-hmm. But, when it comes to your goals, write them down, your dreams, take space for yourself, usually at the start of your day, to really reflect on what type of momentum you intend your day to have. What are you moving through? Look at your calendar. I do this while I'm looking at my calendar because, the mind is really powerful. And you also mentioned heart, spirit, all of that is so important to the whole. Breathing, you even mentioned breathing. I've been having so many conversations about breathing. Last night I spoke with a client and she was so disturbed in her financial situation. And I thought I was going to be really strict with her and, I was frustrated about how much my time she's spent, without charge, and my fault entirely. But I was kind of like I was there to put my foot down, and I ended up just opening up so much compassion within myself and having this incredible dialogue with a client from a place of love. She was moved to tears, and then I instructed her on breathing exercises because I could feel how tight she was with just being overwhelmed with everything in her life. And I'm just like, it wasn't intended, but it's so important. And she texted me afterwards to say thank you. She felt better, but she didn't have space inside. She was so tight with worry and anxiety and frustration and upset that, when we breathe in deeply through our nose and breathe out through our mouth, just imagine pushing all of that anxiety out. And it really works. This isn't my idea, guys. This is study. This is proof that it can really help you to expand in your patience and tolerate more. So thank you for mentioning breathing in business. It's business as usual.
Absolutely. I know in the military, when I was in my unit in Washington, D.C., so the government, if you don't know, employs a lot of civilian contractors and organizations to help. So we have MCS, which is MCCS, which is Marine Corps Civilian Support. I think that's what it stands for. But we had a yoga instructor come to our unit to help us de-stress. Now, of course, all the guys, the man's man, they were like, yeah, this is stupid. I'm not staying for this. But a lot of us were open-minded, mostly because we were musicians, I think. Musicians and artists are open to those kinds of experiences, and it really did help. It's good exercise, too. Yoga is not easy. But I didn't know my leg could stretch that way, that kind of thing. But yeah, so it seems that even the more conservative parts of society are opening up to these more, what some might deem woo-woo things.
Non-conventional.
Non-conventional, there you go. But yeah, so it really is something that you should pay attention to and implement in your daily routine in life. Because the better you are health-wise, there's a reason rich people eat salads and kale diets all the time, and they're always super healthy and fit because they know they can't buy health. They have to do it themselves. It's the only thing you're completely responsible for is your well-being. So.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. I'm so excited to hear that yoga was brought into your military structure. That's
that
amazing.
Unit, yeah.
Just that. But it set a precedence for you, especially with the pandemic arising. I bet you've used some of those movements at times when you knew what was happening. You're able to understand your body. Especially, guys, in business, as entrepreneurs, we have got to find balance and create space so that we can handle what's being thrown at us. When you're in business for yourself, there's no longer the copy guy or the person in the postal department or your boss. It's all you. And it's a lot. So, you may not understand immediately that these things are necessary. And if you've already got them in place, please continue them while you go into business. it's important to get up from your desk and go for that walk. I have a dog. So I take him out 3 times a day, and it forces me. One of the reasons that I accepted the responsibility, it forces me at different times of day to stop what I'm doing and get up and walk. And it literally has saved my life. Yeah. So yeah, we're definitely in a state. It is necessary for us to be more mindful and take care of our whole body, right? Our whole mind, our whole spirit. Also being creative. You spoke to yoga, meditation, that's right up my alley. I'm all about that. That's dope stuff for me. And it's like, but it helps your creative mind. Mm-hmm. While and you know this in marketing. I mean, like, where are the ideas coming from? When you're congested with anxiety and worry and that workaholic spirit, you're not going to manifest the creativity that you need to really expand your business. So it's necessary, folks, but it's not something that's really taught in our Western culture, in our culture. We're taught we go to gym, we play basketball, like that kind of exercise. But I know for me, I'm older, but for me growing up, the correlation to mental health and spiritual health was not equated with our physical, our physical actions that we do.
Right. Yeah, it was just Sundays. Mom and Dad, gonna get you to church, that was pretty much your spiritual life as a kid. And once you turn into an adult, it's up to you what you want to do.
What you want to do, right? And don't ask any questions.
Right. Whether you're Catholic, Protestant, Buddhist, Muslim, whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as you're connecting, my dad's an AA, and he always talks about higher power. And I think the AA folks got it right back when they established that program. As long as you have some kind of higher power that you believe in and you attribute to your success in life, even if it's just the universe itself, however metaphysical you want to think about it.
Source. We just call it source.
Source.
Right?
Yep, absolutely. You just have to know that you didn't get here by your own volition. Your parents came before you, and your parents' parents came before you. Before humanity, there was nature, and the earth was a molten rock. And you just go back in time, you realize things came before you, and there are things that are bigger than you. So you're not the center of the world. You are a person, a human being on this rock floating through space. And you have limited power. So if you connect with source, like you were saying, and you realize that you're part of all of that, and you pull your energy and from that, when you get up in the morning, you're using energy. It's all the same. It's different kinds of energy, kinetic, whatever. I'm not going to get too scientific into it, but basically, that source where everything came from is where you're getting that energy. And you should, on a daily basis, try to connect with that.
Yes.
So
Wait a minute. I heard you say we have limited power. We have unlimited power.
Okay.
Hold up. Unlimited power. But we have to tap into source so that we can access it.
There you go. We have access to
unlimited power. Does that make sense?
Power,
right.
Yes.
We have unlimited power, but they don't want us to know that. So.
Right. We're conduits.
We haven't learned that. But many of us do know that. We just have to tap into and remember, who we are.
Right. We're conduits for that. And
we're conduits for that. I always say that we are spirit in human form.
Yeah.
That's all.
We're not.
Right? In human form.
We're not human beings having spiritual experience.
Yes. No. We are definitely spiritual beings having human experiences. Do not get it twisted.
Right.
I'm living proof of that. So is my dog.
Yeah.
We've got spirit animals, and I'm like, but at the end of the day, all of this is part of the co-creation for your passion, your business, and fusing it all together, when you can master how it is all connected, you will have so much joy in what you do. You will attract everything that you need because it's already there, right? We're like, when I speak with people about money, I'm like, we're not printing money for you. The money already exists. You just have to be on the vibrational frequency to attract it. So it already exists. It's not something that is being created just for us. Everything that we need already exists. So what's the problem?
That's true, and all possibilities already exist too.
So what's the problem?
There is
all
no
right,
problem.
What's taking you so long?
All right, well, this was Business as Usual. My name's Paul. And,
I'm Vonda. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yes, and have a great week, and we'll tune in next time for the next episode of Business as Usual.
Business as usual. Peace out.